that would be helpful. Oh, shit. All right. Let's see how this does. If I can mirror it. Okay. Seems as though we're in business. You're correctly aligned. Perfecto. Perfecto. Maybe I should put that to the other side. All right. How's everybody doing? Happy Tuesday, guys. What up, brother? Yeah, that mirror thing was one of the clutchest thing that's ever happened. How's everybody doing? Let me pull up the slate. I don't want to move my thing, although I got some information down there and shit too. Just poorly arranged. Penn State lock. Today the line is trap. Penn State wins. I think, I don't know. I watched the game earlier in the season, and the theoretical guard play perimeter advantage people might think, especially if you go 100 or unit or what's your size. BT Koch, I support myself with this. If I went 100 a unit, me and my dogs wouldn't eat very much. I wouldn't have a house. So no, I don't go 100 a unit. I wish. I'm not going to post how much though, because I've been robbed before. Penn State lock today. The line is okay. Yeah, I don't think that Penn State's people think maybe cause a bunch of turnovers on the Michigan State guards. They're going to play tough. We don't really like the Michigan State guards. I mean, I don't love them. But you were telling me Penn State 9-12, 2-point underdog versus MSU 18-6. Tell me why. Well, first of all, home court advantage in the Big Ten. I think Penn State's been pretty damn gritty at home, has been in almost every game at home. I think there's a lot of reasons why. I think it's not like it's hard to see that Michigan State's guards aren't good. I don't particularly think Michigan State's guards are awesome, although, as I've said all season, I don't mind AJ Hoggard whatsoever. I've talked about that. I actually think he's getting better and better. As we've talked about, he knows what to do. He knows what to do. I don't know. I think people are in love because Penn State's been pretty good. I think they're going to get the ball inside when they need to. I think they're going to end up getting in Harar into foul trouble easy. I don't think it's going to be super difficult. I think they can run away with it, or in a close game like they've shown. Michigan State, for all everybody shits on them, including us, they're fucking super battle tested. So, all right, let's run through a couple of these other ones. I just don't think the guards are good enough to match what the waves and waves of Michigan State scoring up front's going to end up being. I just can't see them holding up. I think Michigan State knows what they need to do. If it was going to be the guards having to take the shots to win the matchup, I wouldn't be on them, especially on the road. But they've proven they can win on the road. They've learned how to do it as the season gone on. A lot of the wins that they shouldn't have gotten, winning at Northwestern earlier in the season when they squeaked that out because Northwestern kind of played like shit. So it's not like they haven't gotten the L's. They've gotten the L's theoretically. They just haven't shown on paper because of some other things. Okay. Let's run through, get this going. What else? Sin City. Wait, real quick. I had a quick report for you, brother, on IPFW. I don't know. I that must have been a fucking awesome game to have money on. I don't think I can trust IPFW moving forward because I thought they got given a lot of the points they got, down the stretch and stuff. I think that was probably a good matchup, something like that. But I don't know, them going up against a Northern Kentucky or something in the tournament, they're going to get fucking waxed. They're end of game offense. There's no way against the perimeter defense of somebody like Northern Kentucky. There's no way they could beat them in the tournament. Put your hand down, boss. Oh, sorry, dude. Maybe I'll just move away from this shit for a little bit because I added Florida, I added Wisco, and I added Utah State. Let's go over the Wisco Indiana one because that's interesting. We have a really good slate today. I think it's really intriguing. Wisco, Indiana. In my head at first, I was like, this is a good matchup advantage. In my head at first, the little gun on that one is gun to my head. That's what I figured if people asked about it so they could see. Like Indiana, they were up 20 in the first meeting at Wisconsin. Yeah, in theory, I thought they had I think that would be like more of the outlier situation than not. Like in theory, in my head, I think they were missing Wall for that one. First of all, wasn't Wisconsin missing Wall, Sin City? So in theory, in my head, Wall is actually like a semi-decent deterrent against TJD, who they don't really get the ball very well. Like they don't get TJD the ball in the right positions. Like the lack of like a true point guard or discipline or whatever it is. But first in this matchup, I was like, oh, TJD and Race Thompson are going to dominate because Race Thompson's been really good. You got to give him that. That's what I thought at first. And then I was like, for all the dominating they're going to do, there's going to be a lot of missed mid-rangey type thingies and like difficult shots that should be easier shots, but the guards aren't going to get them to them in good enough position. Like I can't do this like Parker Stewart kid and a bunch of these guards on Indiana against people that are not. Davison and Johnny Davis aren't going to fucking be scared to go into the big house, into fucking Allen Fieldhouse and win. So I don't know. At first I was like, oh, this is such a good Indiana matchup. Then I break it down more and I'm like, okay, so Wall this time makes it better. And like the guard play, just like Johnny Davis is still a top 3 player in the country. And there's nobody that's going to be able to go shot for him. Like TJD is not going shot for shot with him. So I just like at plus 145, it's like, this is like a fucking coin flip in my head. It's literally a coin flip because those guards haven't been playing as well. They're going to start playing a little bit better again. So, okay. Damn it. We're going to have to go so far back. But so that's what I'm thinking in my head. That's where I'm at with Wisconsin. Like, I don't think the matchups are as bad as I thought they were initially. And I feel like if Indiana was already up 20 in one game, you like kind of had your chance. Like at that set of guards to beat them if you were going to. Now it's just like, okay, Johnny Davis and Davison are just going to get one, aren't they? Villanova is a trap. I circle Villanova because more and more in my head, I like Villanova less and less by the minute. It's like stood out to me as something because there is a world where Providence is just those kind of guys. Like they played like for as much as you want to say like, okay, close game with DePaul, all of this shit. It's like, like, maybe Providence is just really good. I like the matchup from Villanova for a perspective that they're kind of like Marquette in that like up front, they're going to have a bunch of like 670 wingy type guys that if they just go at Horchler and Watson off the dribble, try and like go around them a little bit, you can get them into foul trouble quickly. We've talked about it, but I like Horchler and Watson much more against guys that aren't as laterally gifted. I'd rather you go against people that are more verticals. So I like the matchup for Villanova, but the more I think about it, Villanova is not that good. They're just not. And that's just what the deal is. So I don't know. Like I like the Villanova matchup, which is why I took it initially. I'm like, no. Providence can't really, but what if Providence is just good? They can be. So I believe Reeves is back. Are we going to have AJ Reeves back? I'm really not a fan of his, but he's scoring, which you're going to need. Or you might need, you might not. Villanova is not that good. So for anybody that didn't take Villanova, I'm rethinking that one. Okay. Skate crazy. What is the sign you have over Toledo on the board? A gun. So like gun to my head, I would take Toledo over Kent State. I do think Kent State has a big advantage inside. But I don't know. I was surprised Sincere Carey got it done against Akron. Central Michigan, I don't want anything to fucking do with Eastern Michigan right now. There's a bunch of young guards on the court. I'd rather be on Central Michigan, who's been playing better as of recent, at least trending up, as opposed to an Eastern Michigan team that's trending the opposite way. So 2 young teams with 2 young guards at home trending in the better direction. I'd rather have Central Michigan. Both have talent. That Kevin Miller kid's pretty talented for Central Michigan. And then TCU for me, because I think like the difference in the matchup is basically like the emergence of Charles O'Bannon. Charles O'Bannon's kind of fucking dangerous for them, man, as giving them like that weapon of a scorer plus Emmanuel Miller. And then I'm not impressed by the guards, even Miles, but still those 2 are really good. O'Bannon pushes them to like a little bit higher level though, because he hits like 2-3 threes a game, reasonably efficient. O'Bannon's been a very pleasant surprise for Jamie Dixon. I honestly think Vegas made a mistake making that Nova Providence line and assumed people would hammer Nova. I don't know. I think it's a matchup type thing, and it's just like a basketball type thing. I get like KenPom probably has it like minus. I think I heard they had it like -3 for Providence or something like that. I don't really look. Okay, let me get back to see the ones that were earlier so we can catch up. Okay. Penn State, Wake Forest team total under 69.5. I understand that. Sebabola. I get that just matchup wise. Like we're tailor made to basically shut them down. If you watch the first game, we're a really bad matchup for them. I would lean the Duke direction. Even though, we've been playing like shit at home, whatever, I still think we're a really bad matchup for Wake Forest. Being able to match, like we can defend inside. I mean, we have the best rim protector in the country. So that's helpful in that situation. The last MSU was -10 the last time I played. Yeah, I mean, my problem with it is that like up front was a problem. Like Bingham's just a fucking problem. You play this game 10 times out of 10. Bingham's a problem every time for them. Like Malik Hall is going to be a problem every time for them inside. And how does that change? And if Michigan State didn't know better, then I'd be like, okay, but Michigan State knows better, and they listen to Coach Izzo because he's a freaking one of the best coaches around, and he's going to be like, get the fucking ball inside or you're coming out of the game. And then it just works like that over and over and over again. I don't see how Penn State produces something that's better than that at any point in the game. Like Michigan State's been good on the road. For as big a turds as we think they are, they've been good on the road. Like they're limited, but are they turds? But like they're just physically limited at the guard spot, experience limited at the guard spot, and that's just the way it is right now. But they still manage to grit things out. I don't see a world where if you want to take the Penn State +3 and clench your asshole, I get it, but that's just not for me today. I just don't see how they're going to lose. Like I just don't get it. I'm on DePaul. I can understand DePaul. I liked Butler at 4.5. I put on the thing. I put only 4s. I don't want any 3s from Butler today, but I feel like Aaron Thompson, like it's like Aaron Thompson on Javon Freeman Liberty was a huge problem in the first matchup. Aaron Thompson on like Gilbert or Terry or whoever's going to try and ball create today is going to be a worse matchup. That's what I fear. I fear Butler. Like, I don't know. I have a hard time believing DePaul's going to beat Butler, but Butler just inching closer and closer to getting it done. I'd rather not take it. I'm not going to try and catch the falling knife. But Butler's playing much better than their record. They're like so close in every game. Just get out of your own fucking way. I'm on Indiana. Okay, yeah. I mean, I get everybody that's on that one. I just trust the guard play in that spot. And what feels like a 50-50 spot, I really do think Wisconsin beats them. I really do. In a 50-50 spot. It's just like Indiana's home court isn't worth that much. And their guards, this is a pretty wide disparity in guard play the more I started to think about it. That's what put me on them. I wasn't on them last night. And I think I probably could have gotten like a +155 last night. I gave away 10 cents. I like Tennessee too. Kentucky, a different team without Ty. What I will say about that is like I kind of like the matchups for like Savon Wheeler's a little dude. He should be able to run around with Ziegler a little bit, who I think is the difference maker on that team. I mean, if you watch Tennessee, if you're on Tennessee, you think fucking, hey, Wisconsin got beat by Rutgers at home. Grant, don't disrespect Rutgers. They're not trash. They're really not trash. I'm actually being serious. I'm just from Jersey, so I say that, but I really don't think they're trash at all. For a college basketball team, they are not. Like when you look at it and project it to like NBA talent, it's like, yeah, I mean, but like Ron Harper, Geo Baker and shit, and like those big guards that can kind of swallow you up and stuff like that. No, they're not trash at all. Not when you don't have a front court to really punish them and stuff like you can do with Rutgers a lot. It's a bad matchup for Wisconsin. Everything's matchup driven. I like Tennessee. That was a miss by me, not having them. I like Tennessee. So I agree with Ty just because from a defensive perspective, I would like to have Ty initiating things in this matchup just because of the guard matchup. So I think he's the most dangerous matchup for Kentucky here. And we don't have him if we're Kentucky. I still think just like the experience, stuff like that. Like I like Ziegler, but I think I kind of think Tennessee like stinks. I think Vescovi needs to wake up a little bit, but I mean, those two young guards are dynamic. I think Ziegler is like one of the more dynamic young guards in the country, but shouldn't Savon Wheeler be able to big brother him a little bit? And he's a little guy, scoot around with him. Doesn't that, in my head, that makes sense? I mean, both teams had such good offensive success in the first one, so I don't know. Like, yeah, Kentucky put up 1 million points, but pretty easy offense they had going there, so not a whole lot of resistance. All right. Penn State. People love Penn State. Okay. Be careful. I like St. Peter's at home. Yeah, I watched that first matchup, but they were hitting everything under the sun and they couldn't like win. And I just think like at one point, like we're asking Eater and them. You know the problem with St. Peter's? I'll tell you what the problem with St. Peter's is, and I feel bad saying it. I think this probably will be a close game for most of it. St. Peter's, I like St. Peter's. I think they have the weapons inside to make it so that Nelly Jr. Joseph guy isn't just doing whatever he wants all game. Sorry I'm not responding to things, guys. I got to leave this so I'm trying to get through all the picks and shit. So, okay, wait. My problem with them is, what's this guard's name? Because he fucks up everything. And I feel bad saying it, but it's just the way life is. Oh, wait, where is he? It's not Dasher or Murray, is it? It's one of them, or there's some other, just this rotation of guards, dude, has like severely downgraded. It's like severe. I don't know what's going on with these guys. Isn't there a Rupert too? Whenever this Rupert guy is in, it makes me want to throw my head through a wall. I'm like, I have no idea what the fuck you're doing out there. It resembles the green guy for Canisius for me right now, where I'm like, I can't believe the coach is actually letting you go out and waste people's time right now. I don't know. I just think it's like the veteranship, like, dude, Elijah Joyner, and I can see him keeping it close. I'm looking to live Iona and Hofstra because both games where I can see the home team keeping it close, like Elon in the Hofstra matchup, just playing good defense, but like eventually just the ISO, like just fucking Estrada, take him one-on-one, Jalen Ray, take him one-on-one, and that's going to be better than whatever Elon throws out there eventually. So if you can get a good price on Hofstra at some point, kind of similar to Iona at some point. Like in my opinion, like if I have to like end the game, I'm going to be choosing between like Eater and like Elijah Joyner and Tyson Jolly. Like Elijah Joyner and Tyson Jolly, you basically take over like basically anybody in this conference. It's hard to stay motivated, and I think Quinn Slazinski wastes a lot of possessions. But I called the video of my overnight the attack of the road favorites. I don't want to be taking tons of road favorites all the time, but I just kind of believe Missouri State and Indiana State, I don't want to touch with a 10-foot stick because I don't want to fade. I'd like Indiana State's playing like shit, but I like them. So I'd rather not. And like big physical advantages and talent advantage, obviously, on the other side. I just don't want to touch it. Indiana State's playing bad, though. I mean, it's just what it is. Okay, Memphis. Let's talk about Memphis real quick. Not a trap. Don't go to Ohio State. So we'll kind of run through the board and we're catching up. I have 2 units on Memphis. Because modded vape appearance. Yeah, I'm not cool. Baljeet, I'm not cool at all, bro. I'm old. 32 years old. I'm past being cool. How many units on Memphis? So I got 2 units on Memphis minus 145. If anybody else watched, I'm going to scroll to the bottom so I can get feedback on this one if anybody's talking about it. No NBA picks today. I'm so focused on I really want to produce really good college basketball content moving into the tournament too for everybody. So I'm just going to say fuck it to NBA for the rest of the season and just go all in college basketball. Because I have MLB starting right after. So whatever. I'm just going to say wash it on the rest of it. Okay. I watched that first game, Memphis against Cincinnati, with the shots they hit and just like the unfamiliarity and like the turnovers, whatever. I literally think that was like on 100th percentile performance from Cincinnati. I don't understand how Cincinnati can play that game better. Literally, if you play that game 100 times out, I think that was number 100. or like 99. Like that just doesn't get any better. They're knocking down fucking everything, like shit in transition, just like pulling up. Like it looked like they're playing like a little bit like an NBA team. Yes, Memphis gives up a lot of threes. I get it. They can't shoot better on the same volume, or they can't even shoot more volume. They got so many. It was such a high possession game. Another thing, DeAndre Williams, not there for that matchup. They beat him without DeAndre Williams. DeAndre Williams is by far the most important piece on this Memphis team, and they beat Cincinnati without him when Cincinnati played the best game. There is such a freaking talent disparity here. It is making me fall over myself. What a talent disparity. Now we don't have, I don't want to be negative about anybody. I'm not a huge Emoni Bates guy. He didn't have enough time for him to be what people wanted him to be. So it doesn't matter. But this team now, like people are acting like these guards are like a bunch of, it's like Lomax. Why I said him first, that's kind of disrespectful. But Nolly, Quinones, and Lomax, dude, these guys have been here forever. They're not like this line's being priced like they're just complete children. The problem is that they're not coached, but you can get enough by just literally anything. Do I bet on Bet Openly? No, but I follow that guy actually because I just appreciate the fact that he doesn't just yell nonsense at the screen like a lot of the people. Yeah, Emoni might be a star in time. Yeah, for sure. He's so talented, but he just didn't have a chance. He got to school so late, and then it was just like, I'm going to be a celebrity. It's like, that's not really how it works. It takes hard work, unfortunately. Unfortunately, I wish it was like that. Okay. But I just believe even you just take like a Tyler Harris off the bench. Their backup point guard has such a mismatch in this game. He's just going to, like in the first match, he was blowing by people doing whatever he wanted. It's like, yeah, he's way faster, just like from quickness, from like every type of talent, like human talent advantage you could want. They have like in this matchup. I think the biggest thing, if anybody watched that Memphis-Houston game, Memphis is leading the entire second half. BTN Sports, I saw, man, Sydney was up. Thank you for sending me that. BTN Sports, I think, knows some soccer. But they were up. They're up the entire second half with like 3 minutes to go. Houston makes a run. They're down 5. And Memphis responds by scoring the next 11 points, like 2 threes. And then like, I don't know what it was after that, a 2 and a whatever. They went on like an 11-0 run to respond at Houston. Whether we think Houston's good or not, that's a fucking statement. And that's showing like they've won a couple on the road. I don't see a world. I don't see a world where Cincinnati wins this game after watching the first one. Had I not watched the first one, I'd be like, okay, I get it. Like maybe they'll like old man them, do whatever. They just tried that and shot like 60% from 50-something% from 3 on 30-something attempts. I mean, it just doesn't get any better. It just doesn't get any better. I don't know. If Cincinnati wins, I'll learn something today. I will learn something about the way I'm just seeing. 2 units rare for you? I don't know. Yes, no. I mean, it's just relative to the value. So I think you can play like Cincinnati up. I think they win this game fucking 8 times out of 10, 9 times. I really do think they win the game 8 times out of 10, 9 times out of 10. I mean, I'm accounting for turnovers. I'm accounting for after the big win at Houston, and it's a little bit of a letdown. I'm factoring all that in, and I'm saying I don't understand. Just seeing the people on the court. It's like you beating the shit out of your little brother, and your little brother you're playing 2 games in a row. The last one, he hit every shot he possibly could have, and you still beat his ass. Now you're going to go beat his ass again. It's just like, it just doesn't matter what he can do. That's how I feel about that game. We'll see what happens. Okay. Let me see. Damn it, dude. So much participation. This is awesome. It is so hard for me to move here. Okay, back to here. Wake Forest, we talked about. Eastern Michigan, Central Michigan over. Yeah, I guess it's a bunch of young guards, crazy shit, sure. Could be a lot of turnovers the other way. However you think that part of the matchup goes, I guess. You think Wisconsin beats Indiana, Thompson and Davis tired of getting beat. Too bad people don't get on the ball enough and in the right spots. Jackson Davis is used so poorly, dude. It's really bad. Butler already beat DePaul by 10. I think that's because I think it was a good matchup. It's a good matchup. They kind of like, it's just like slightly more talented for DePaul, but are they even at the guard spot this time? So I can see DePaul. I like DePaul. I think they're trending in the right direction. They've been tough at home. I think maybe they tough it out, but I would never lay 4. If you want to lay 3.5, do what you would like to do. Providence money line. Hey, the more I'm thinking about that one, I have to wave anybody through on Providence. If you want to go through on Providence, walk through the door because there's a chance. There's a chance. I was honestly trying to think about my top 3 teams in college basketball, and like if you're not just putting a biased hat on, like if you don't just go super biased hat about Providence and you go, what are the top 3 teams in the country, top 5 teams in the country? And you just like, you don't want to say like whatever your preconceptions are about certain players on the team and just results, W's, you can literally be like Providence is a top 5 team in the country. Providence is a top 3 team in the country. You can rationalize your way there. I'm not saying it's necessarily what I think. I'm not saying whatever, but there's resume wise and just what they've done. You can be like, and just the way they can kind of match up with different things. They're Tucker Croswell's like a fucking great leader. I mean, you see, too bad LaSalle doesn't still have Croswell. He'd be super helpful. Okay, I'm sorry, guys. I might just have to. Oh no, I'm not that far from getting up. Butler +5 is guy. I think that's great value. Colorado money line. If you don't want to, I mean, Oregon State. Yeah, I mean, at this point, it's just in free fall, right? Iona money line. I understand. Just, I mean, if nothing else, you can just say guard play, and nobody can argue with you too much, right? Rutgers is good. Thank you. High rollers. I know I'm late. I agree. They really are for a college basketball team. Not saying any of it translates to the pros, but for a college basketball team. Any thoughts on TCU? We kind of talked about that. I just think like it's really, I don't know. I just can't bank on Iowa State scoring. And it's like tough with like the pieces they have because like Brockington is Brockington, but they have a freshman point guard who like could be good in the future, but lacks tons of experience. They just lack talent in general. It's a tough spot because Kalsher, I don't know what happened to him. I really liked Kalsher when he got to Minnesota with, I think that was like the class with him, Oturu. I don't think Carr was. Carr might have been older already, but I actually had really high hopes for them. And I think they might have made one tournament game, but Kalsher is just like his stroke, his demeanor, everything is like matched. But I always thought Kalsher would develop into like an NBA prospect, like an outside NBA prospect who did really well. Stop. Is everybody, I can't rationalize that. Yeah. My guys. I'm just saying. It's just the way it is. It's just the way it is. Loving Toledo today. I understand. Guard play. Definitely understand. Okay. We're almost caught up. This is fucking wonderful. Oklahoma. Yes, I'm going to be on Oklahoma. I just don't trust Texas. And I get people are saying the defense, Texas is going to employ, is going to take away a lot of cuts, shit like that from Oklahoma, which they need those easy buckets, and the offense relies on it. I mean, that's what Porter Moser, if you still watch Loyola Chicago, similar band of basketball, they do rely on that. I just don't think Texas is going to score that many points. I do think they'll get easy buckets just off of blown assignments, getting to the line, whatever, because I don't think Texas plays very smart. I just don't think Texas is very good. I think Oklahoma is like better. Maybe there's a part of me somewhere deep inside rooting for Jordan Goldware here, but I just think he's better. I just think they're like better almost. Like Texas is just not good. They're so unimpressive to me. So unimpressive. Xavier Johnson might be the best point guard in the Big Ten. The best point guard in the Big Ten doesn't like foul himself out of games fucking 2 minutes into them, guy. Sorry, but I'm going to have a pretty stark, a hard stop on that one. I like Xavier Johnson, but dude, you can't be. I mean, dude, it's like, and you just look at people like, I get that game was being officiated, like, you know, not ideally for Indiana, but come on, man. If you want to be the best point guard in the Big Ten, then come on. Your team needs you. Clemson and Florida State are both reeling right now. Who you like? I mean, I have a hard stop on Florida State right now. Hard stop. I think they should win, but hard stop. Anthony Polite. Where's my Florida State brother? We have one in here. Anthony Polite, man, just seems to be, I guess, unbelievably important to just team culture, whatever. I don't know, man. We're going to have to figure out Caleb Mills for the future because he's not who I thought he was. I think Colorado probably grits out like a win over Oregon State, but I'm not just buying the dumpster on Oregon. I'm not just fading dumpster on Oregon State. Like this kind of value, like this fucking Colorado team against a team with like size up front that can combat like the normal path to victory for Colorado. Fucking, I'm not doing that. Paying this price for that money line. I'd rather not. I mean, Oregon State, you know, for all they are, I mean, it's a bad look there. I'll give you that if you just want to fade it. But I'm not paying this price. I don't want to pay this like dumpster price. It's like the same thing where it's like yesterday where I'm looking at like, I don't know, like it might be close, like a Western Kentucky. fucking randomly. It's like I just don't want to pay the price. So Polite drinks in the moment. Tim, yes, Polite drinks in the moment. Isn't Polite out? Did he miss like the last game? I think. But I don't know, man. Fucking brutal. Okay. You think Indiana can make the tourney? I think Indiana's in a bad way right now, man. They just like all over the place, man. All over the place. Colorado, Kansas winning the tourney. No, I don't believe that. Wyoming is going to make a tourney run. Maldonado is fantastic. I agree. I like Wyoming today. I just think they do too many things right as opposed to New Mexico, who does too many things wrong. I get there's going to be some quickness advantages for New Mexico off the bounce. Understood. Dino, did you take her thing? Did he take your bully stick? I think there's going to be a quickness advantage off the bounce, but it's just too much. Too much in the post. Who's going to defend Ike? Who's going to defend Maldonado when he goes down to the post? Like Mashburn's going to attempt to or something? I don't know. I think there's going to be too much consistent offense from Wyoming. I think they cover the 5.5. I probably should have just laid a full unit on that last night. If it's still available, I might up that. You guys see I got the fucking sushi magnets guy so people can see. They'll come in handy at some point. I don't think it was helpful today, but I think those are going to be helpful. I saw it was like I was talking about them. They came up. That just popped up on my Amazon as like a suggestion. How psycho the world is. It literally just popped up as a suggestion. You cannot bet against Providence at home. You know what? I don't hate. The more people talk about it, the more I can see it. I still think matchup-wise, it's Villanova's game. I just still do, just from X's and O's. Just up front. Kind of problems. Move one more time. Damn it. Yeah, I got you. All right. I got Penn State. Perfect trap for MSU coming off a good win. Penn State is solid at home. Well, you care less about traps when your coach is named Tom Izzo and your fucking guards need every moment of playing time they have. I'm sure he's telling them that. You think Tom Izzo's gassing them up, or you think he's like, you guys better figure this shit out so we can win something this year? Yeah, I think. You know what I mean? Sorry, I'm trying to fix the YouTube stream. And now I'm spilling my coffee. I'm falling apart. Fuck. Tai is in for UK. Whoa, Bodie. Dropping a bomb, guy. Is Tai in? If Tai is in, I might have to take a teeny bit of Kentucky. Because then your matchup initiators there, and off you go. Yeah, I can't do Penn State. I just can't do what. Dude, I think Malik Hall is kind of good. I'm kind of all in on Malik Hall. I actually kind of want Malik Hall on my NBA team if I'm an NBA guy, because with his stroke, you can extrapolate out what you can turn him into pretty easily. Malik Hall, actually, in my opinion. I think they're going to continue to go to him more and more and highlight him throughout the end of the year. Providence has 5 seniors starting. Don't matter who the coach is. Minaya is the best defender. Yeah, I get it, man. And they're winners. Manaya's a winner. He brought a lot of winning attitude there. I just remembered Horchler. I don't like Reeves, I'll be honest. I remember Horchler at North Florida. He's always kind of been a turd, to be honest. Hall needs to be more consistent. Yeah. He's got so much talent, man. Tai is not in Noah. We got a war. Is Tai playing or not? Let's give good information. Let's know. Oh, maybe we don't know. We get one source, whatever. So who knows? That would be. I wouldn't take Kentucky without Tai. There's just better investments. I'm not buying Bradley. No, I don't trust. Bradley on the fucking road. Nope. I do not at all. I don't trust them having to initiate through a big guy on the road. You don't generally want it. You need the good guards on the road. And I think Southern Illinois just has to be undervalued. There's value. This should be like -2.5 or something like that, -3 in my opinion. I think so. because home court's pretty big in MVC too. People really care about their basketball in the Missouri Valley. Is MSU spread safe? I don't know. I think it's going to be probably the only way I think it's a blowout. The only way there's a blowout is on the MSU side. I don't think it's safe. I mean, I didn't take it, so I don't think it's particularly safe. It's confirmed he's out. So no Ty Ty. Yeah. You think the line too. The line's kind of telling you no Ty Ty. Okay. We're almost caught up. Sorry, somebody's here and I keep forgetting. YouTube. I'll make it a better experience for you, I promise. And I'm watching the questions today. YouTube page is down. Yes. Thank you, J.S. Peters. My bad, brother. It's got back up. It's because I'm leaning one against the other and it keeps fucking tapping on it. VCU first half money line for better juice. No, I mean, I don't feel like I posted at minus 300, but I just don't see a world where VCU. I do really flap my hands around a lot like I'm fucking autistic. I don't mean that in like a mean, I just mean I'm fucking wild. Mizzou has been scrappy at home. I just don't want to trust Mizzou. I mean, Arkansas. I'm not trusting that batch of guards. I can't do it. Cal State Fullerton taking it all. Cal State Fullerton is scrappy. They're pretty good. Tell me you're on Providence plus 4.5 at least. It does feel wide. I said that in my overnight thing. It feels wide, but I just don't know. Is Providence those guys? If you believe those Providence are those guys, then yeah, fuck it. Go out and take the 4.5 for sure, and then go out and take some money line too. If you believe Providence are those guys, look at that. Like, what the fuck are you doing, guy? I'm a fucking weirdo with that. Colorado -4. I just don't want to lay them to win by that much when I don't have the better guard and I don't probably have the best player. The other team's a turd. Like, what if they do come out and play well? They do at least try to not make 1.5 million mistakes at home. They're probably going to do pretty well. So it could be a close game. I have the scouting report for 2 MVC schools in Mo State -13 and UNI -4. I'm interested in what you think about the Northern Iowa game, L. Scott. I think that's an interesting one because I have a hard time believing Northern Iowa wins, but I do not. I don't trust Northern Iowa to cover 5 to get me a 5-point win on the road. I don't believe in them to do that. They just don't play good enough team basketball. I think AJ Green's probably a bad fucking teammate from the vibes I get. Providence does have crazy luck numbers, by the way. That's another thing. Like, I don't know if people have seen like the free throw percentages their opponents are shooting. It's like everybody they play is like a St. John's when they play them. So there's a lot of like quote unquote luck regression coming from Providence. I'm an FSU's fan, but they're playing. Yeah, I don't know. I wouldn't touch Florida State with a 10-foot stick. I wouldn't lay juice with Florida State with a 10-foot stick. Theoretically, they have the matchup, but have you ever watched SEC basketball, Demon Dog? Didn't Illinois State just fire their coach yesterday? Did they fucking fire their coach yesterday? That would almost make me think I would like want to bet on him. Mullen? They fired Muller? Holy shit. But he'll remain for the rest of the season. Interesting. Nice plug there. User Fun Guy, man. You follow a lot. You're like you're a certified news guy, bro. You come with heat. You really do. I mean, I'll give you your props, man. You have fucking information. Information is the name of the game. It's interesting. I mean, how you think they're gonna react to him? It's interesting because he's staying on for the season, huh? Maybe they play for him, lose a close, gritty one. Northern Iowa, though, I think they're 1 game back in the conference standings. So Northern Iowa is not going to come out and dud this. So I almost want to put them, dude, it's crazy. There's literally not one freaking road favorite I want to fade today. I never thought I'd say something like that because there's a million of them. But there's like not one road favorite I want to fade today. Maybe if I don't like the vibes, I can see, just tune into that Northern Iowa game if I have time. Maybe there's a bet there. But, yeah, I'd never think that. I think like Tulane could lay it dead, but I'll tell you this: Tulane has a rematch with Houston, who's not playing very well, coming up soon. We're gonna get like a +6 at home, something like that. Just hammer the money line. We don't have to hammer it, but I'm gonna take that money line because I watched that first game. And Tulane could have won the first one. I think they're gonna win the second one. I'm a dog player. I like Elon. I can see Elon to cover. They're not gonna win. I don't see a fucking world where Elon wins. The Hofstra has to play so bad in that matchup for Elon to win. I guess they can get some consistent scoring up front. Is that what we're hoping? If we're taking them, because like end of game scoring, I get Elon plays great team defense. How do you beat great team defense? You just say fuck you and just take them one-on-one, and they have the players to do that, like with Estrada and Ray. I think they can both easily do that at the end of the game. So maybe on the spread. That's why I'm looking at live Hofstra, because I can see that defense being like a problem early, but I think you can get some really good value on Hofstra in that game. That would make sense in my head. You think Utah State wins? I think they have the matchup. I firmly believe they have the matchup. I think there's like a 25% chance they're playing like such dog shit it doesn't matter. And then, whatever happens. But I think at plus 180, the implied odds, I think they have, at least like a 40%, 45% chance of winning the game. 42%, 43%. I'll sprinkle something. That's why I'm just sprinkling a little bit. Am I going to watch the new Batman? I don't know. I actually saw a commercial for it and it looked fucking cool. I will admit that. Marquette is the best late scoring team in CBB. Hey, you're not wrong. What does the avocado on your page mean? Sprinkle. So I really just do like a half a unit, 2 units. And then if you hear me like clamor about one for weeks, like fucking Jared Cannonier, or for months, like Jared Cannonier, you just fucking hammer it. I put a lot on that. I put a scary amount on that. But actually, this week, there's an interesting one. I think Christian Rodriguez is a super interesting. Holy shit. All my chairs are getting blown over. Hold on a second. Dino, are you in here? Dino. Heel. Where's your little brother, dude? Good boy. There you are. Good boy. All right, I gotta close this door. What are you doing? What are you doing, kid? All right. My bad. All right. I didn't have any time for any NBA today. I'm sorry, brothers. Western Michigan, UConn, Akron, it feels wide. But I haven't watched any Western Michigan this season, so I can't advise you on that. Why did Utah State lose so badly to Nevada? They weren't playing great defense. I mean, I'll give them that. But, fucking Nevada hit every shot, just literally went unconscious. Like, I think Cambridge ended up like 6 for 9 from 3. It was just absolutely unconscious. Do you look at over-under lines at all? Seem like we talk about spread ML picks in here. I am mostly sides. That's just like what I've had success with for a long time. So I generally like lean that way. Like, it's a lot of work to break down like all those games from every perspective. So that's what I tend to be better at. Maybe if we get a totals guy, he'll end up coming to hang out, and we'll have a little more like maybe well-rounded approach or whatever. But that's just what I have success with. So I try and I'm trying to put a lot of time into UFC too. But I've always been a sides guy. I like the problem of it, like who's gonna win. I just need to figure out who's gonna win. I think CMU is probably the right side just because of both young. They're at home. They've been playing better while Eastern Michigan's trending down. So gun to my head, whichever way that is, I put Central Michigan on that side. What do I think of Caleb McConnell? I think he tries really hard, and I like that. I have Nevada hitting the spread today. I'm not going to turn around and trust them by 1 million now, even though they have to get shit. All right. Danny, what are you doing? You need some water? They got Sherfield back. Yep, Demon Dog, you were on that. That was a great play, dude. Very good play. That was an awesome play. Way undervalued, but things have adjusted really quickly. Noah Farrakhan's awesome, but the other 2 guards that take up a lot of time on that team are not the vibe. Like Monty Scott and Spotsfield are not the vibe. Noah Farrakhan wants a little time. If he doesn't just up transfer and say, fuck it, he's going to, he'll bring them to a good place. Kentucky, Tennessee, no Ty Washington. I don't want to touch it. I still lean Kentucky because I don't really believe in Tennessee, but those guards can score, man. I'm a big Ziegler fan. That little Z Ziegler, double Z, I'm a big fan. Should I hammer or sprinkle Northern Illinois? I'm just sprinkling the money line. I'm not going to take the spread in case it turns into a dumpster fire. Why? I think Peyton Sparks is wildly important for look what I'm fucking doing for you guys. I'm fucking crawling around on my hands and knees so I can show the board. What the fuck? Northern Illinois, I think, has the best 2 guards in the game between Keyshawn Williams and Hankerson, specifically Hankerson, but I think they have definitely the best guards in the game. And then I think matchup-wise,
that McCoot or whatever his name is can match up with Sparks pretty well. Ball State cannot score well enough to justify how fucking wide this money line is. Like, I think there's a world where they just fuck up. The guard plays just too much. Like, I can see Northern Illinois can win this game by a decent amount, I think. My most confident pick, I think there's the most, that's not what the game is, but the most value is on Memphis, in my opinion. The fact that Oklahoma is not favored in is wild. I kind of agree. I think there's a lot of Chris Beard respect out there. But he's got some karma coming his way. Okay, let me get back up to a couple more matchups here. Sushi is 1 unit. Okay, we're pretty caught up. This is nice. Okay. Let's see. Which ones have we not hit? We hit. I think VCU is just free money. There's just no way. If you watch, we've watched a decent amount of Fordham lately because we took them recently. Even if Ohams has some success, I mean, what the hell are they going to do? Quisenberry, no Quisenberry, whatever. How the hell do they beat VCU now that Ace Baldwin's playing a little bit better? I don't think that's physically possible. It's not like humanly possible. Caesars is Oklahoma as favorites. A lot of J-gels. However you say that, yeah, it's flipped in a lot of places, and it's probably going to continue to flip. I'm going to sit down for a little bit. If you guys want to see the board again in a little bit, I will. I think VCU money line is just free. They can't win the game. There's no win condition for the other team. So yeah, I think VCU money line is free. I just is what it is. If Oklahoma, the flip side of the argument, if you like Texas, you think that Oklahoma is not going to be able to get anything going on offense, and then just talent wins in what's probably going to be a lower scoring game anyways. So that's your thought, is that just all those cuts and stuff all completely disappear from the coaching from Beard, and that's what happens. And Oklahoma just can't score at all, even though I think Goldwilder's been pretty good at the end of games and Gibson's not bad. I don't think they're going to get much going inside Texas. So I think that's going to force. I don't think Texas is going to score much either. But I like Texas more. I think VCU with the spread's a good play too. But I think I think it's really hard I think that's a really tough matchup with the defense VCU plays. Like, I just don't see a world. Like, what are you going to do? And then Vince Williams should be able to, even if Ace Baldwin, who should be able to do what he wants, Vince Williams to initiate, do what he wants. Gage Dodds, 2 locks of the day. Be honest. There's no such thing as a lock, so it's hard to be honest. I don't know what to tell you. I think Brock Miller's still out, bro, for Utah State, or I'd be surprised if all this money's pouring in with it, with how fucking little they can score. I mean, San Diego State really, really struggles to score. No such thing as a lock, though, Gage Dodds. There's no such thing as that around here. VCU minus 8.5 is your favorite pick of the day. No Memphis money line is my favorite pick of the day. I think there's tons of value there. Like, if that money line was like minus 300, I'd be like, I'm still taking it. I watched the entire first game, and I came away thinking, how could Cincinnati have ever played better? That is one of the worst matchups I've seen in a long time. I'm a matchup handicapper, so I got to take Memphis. What's your second play laying VCU with? I just put VCU free because I don't see a world where they can lose. I mean, it's always like VCU isn't like they play slower. They're really good at defense. Like they can get a little lackadaisical. Like do they definitely cover like 8.5 now? Like, I knew the line was going to go up. So like, even wrecking it last night at like, there was like, I think 7, it was 7.5 basically across the board. A lot of it, there's no point in fucking doing. So I didn't wreck that because 8.5, I mean, there's just better investments in VCU to cover by that much. If it was like VCU 6.5, then yeah, we'd be on it. Wyoming, it's shorter. It's under 7, under a key number like 7. I think it's fair to wreck it. But, I understand VCU's limitations. They're not winning. They're not losing this game. They just can't lose this game. It's like, it's so difficult. They would just have to like, just really not show up. Like, just like nobody would get off the bus, that kind of thing. We've talked about Minnesota, Ohio State's an interesting one. I think Eddie Curry, not Eddie Curry. Whoa, remember Eddie Curry? What is Curry's name? Eric Curry's. He's back. Yes, Memphis is my favorite bet. Eric Curry's back for this matchup, like 6'9" power forward for Minnesota. He was missing in the first matchup when they just caused absolute havoc inside, like Ohio State. Minnesota actually did a pretty good job of limiting. I watched most of the game. Minnesota actually did a pretty good job of limiting Ohio State's first offense, but they just got murdered on the boards. There's going to be some adjustment, and Bulls legend Eddie Curry. I think there's going to be some adjustment there, and I think Eric Curry makes as big a difference as like one player can make in this matchup. It's such a big matchup. Bunch of seniors, exactly. So we have a big advantage in turn, like going on the road. They've proven they can go on the road and win. They won at Pitt, which is looking to be a pretty good win. Minnesota's won at Pitt. I mean, that's a pretty good win. We were on them in that, which I'm not sure was the right side, but getting that done was a pretty good win. They also won. They have some other impressive road win. But yeah, I think against how inexperienced Ohio State's guards are, and they don't have Michi and Johnson and stuff. So now it's just, I mean, Jamari Wheeler was a psycho no matter what age he is. Branham's so young. I forget who the other kid they were starting the other day. I think Minnesota's very live to win that game because you're also going to have the mismatch on the offensive end with Battle. Battle should go off like he did in the last matchup. That's a plus matchup for him. So, like, you just kind of run through the positions. You're like, let's say this game's in the low 60s, high 50s, something like that, which I think it's going to be a lower scoring game. Why can't Minnesota win the game? So, I have a little bit of plus 550, a little bit of plus 600. What was the other one? Florida was the other one we haven't talked about yet. Over Texas A&M. I think it's a pretty, trusting Florida, it's not like the most fun thing in the entire world, but they have a little bit of experience at the guard spot, and there's a giant chasm of a mismatch up front with Castleton and DeRugi and them against Texas A&M. That's a problem. If you've watched Texas A&M defend like interior presences this year, then I think you get my vibe, but that's a fucking problem. That is a serious problem. And Castleton has shown enough of a I'm going to fucking do this kind of attitude. So I think Florida ends up getting it done. I ended up adding them for a unit on my board because the more I thought about it, I was just like, I do trust Castleton. He does seem to care enough. So those points plus that you'll get enough out of Appleby and McKissick and stuff when you need it. But I think that's enough for me. I think Castleton just has a monster of a day, and they defend well on the other side of the court. TCU, I would lean that way, Cam. I do think the emergence of Charles O'Bannon is the difference in this kind of matchup where they just score a little bit too much. And I just can't trust Tyrese Hunter and Brockington. I like Brockington, but I remember him on Penn State. And I kind of know what variance looks like. And, that stretch he went on earlier in the season will probably be the best of his playing career and probably was the best up to that point. He probably never played that well in high school. I think he's a hard worker and everything. I'm not trying to shit on him. I'm just saying what his talent looks like compared to the output. That was tops. Graham Ike or Orlando Robinson? Graham Ike. I love Graham Ike, bro. No, great question. I love Graham Ike. And the thing is, Graham Ike as a sophomore already is you can see the will in him, want. He's gonna him plus Linder. I mean, Wyoming will be in the tour is gonna be in the tournament. I feel for hopefully this season and the next few. Also, Butler plus 150, plus 160. That's crazy against DePaul. I don't disagree. I took a teeny bit last night at plus 4.5. I do think DePaul, is kind of they're spunkier this year, man. I like David Jones. I do like David Jones after watching him, but yeah, I think matchup wise, Aaron Thompson should cause all kinds of problems for Terry having to be a lead ball handler and stuff. As long as Freeman Liberty's still out, and I'm thinking the matchup is how it is, I would go that side. Do you stream all these games with the lower conference teams? Yeah, I try and pop into like yesterday. I wrote down a bunch of the ones we talked about that I didn't have opinions. I tried to at least pop in and see what the deal is. But yeah, I try and I'll pop into. They're not all on at kind of different times. I just kind of want to know what. As long as I have a general idea of what the form is, you kind of know the matchup. So just kind of DePaul beat Xavier recently, right? Yeah,
But also, I mean, Xavier's a fucking dumpster. They really are. I don't care about that UConn game. They're a dumpster. They're still a dumpster. Kentucky also going to smoke Tennessee. Wouldn't surprise me. Wouldn't surprise me. Does MLP mean moneyline parlay, L. Scott? I would personally take them separately, and I don't trust Arkansas. I do think Arkansas, I mean, talent-wise, yeah. I mean, at the guard spot, it's like an unbelievable difference. Plus, Williams is good. But Mizzou's spunky at home. They're going to have an inside advantage like they usually do. And I just don't trust – I don't trust it. Matchup-wise, certainly Arkansas. Don't trust them as far as I can throw them. After the other day, that pissed me off so bad that they didn't end up getting it done. I mean, they got screwed by the refs, but for Note to take that as the last-second shot, I just throw me out a window. VCU 11-2 with Vincent Ace this year. VCU can make some noise, man. Although I went down to the bottom after watching IPFW yesterday, I feel like I got to the bottom of the Horizon tournament, and it's Oakland or Northern Kentucky. I think like 25% Oakland goes to the NCAA tournament, 75% Northern Kentucky goes to the NCAA tournament. Obviously, matchups will dictate a lot, but in my head, that's how it goes. I think Northern Kentucky's playing some fire basketball, man. Ty Washington playing, though, don't think he is. We think he's probably out. When is Keegan Murray going to make the list of what? The list? Are you talking about the closers list, kid? Kid, are we talking closers list? Keegan Murray, kid? Maybe. I like it better than whoever with the Jaden Ivey. As long as we stop the Jaden Ivey trade, I'm a happy man. You got me as a happy man. But, got the VCU and Duke money line both at minus 196. Not bad at all. I don't endorse parlays, but like what you're telling me is not bad. Yeah, Duke has the matchup advantage. VCU has the matchup advantage. I'm a matchup handicapper. So, Gage, I shake your head because that's what I'm a matchup guy. So I think you have both the matchups. Ohio over Miami, Ohio. I don't know. That was scary to me because Delonte Brown's back, so Ohio is so Miami, Ohio is de facto underrated because Delonte Brown means as much to Miami, Ohio as any player does in the country. So I think they're de facto underrated. Like, Ohio still to me. I know Noah fan, not trying to be offensive. You guys, to me, skate by a lot of 3-point variance. You guys do get good shots, and I love Sears. I mean, I do love Sears. But, Miami, Ohio is old as shit. They're not going to – besides the tournament, this is probably the last game that means anything. If Miami, Ohio won, I'd be like, not the craziest thing ever. If Ohio won, I think there's a lot of variance in this game on 3-point shots. I did it. That's why I just hopped on the stream for a sec. Yo, I trust it. It's not trusting, not trusting. I just can't, I can't endorse parlays. I don't endorse parlays. They take too much from you. Oh, are we making a, what's it called, point? Oh shit, I got to call these people back. Are we making a Keegan Murray point? Okay. Oh, Ohio. Oh, I get what you're talking about. Okay. Let me see if I missed any real quick because I just got a call and I actually got to that was about something personal that I'm going to have to attend to in a few. So maybe shorter than usual. Are there any others we got to go? Ty Washington seems to be out. And I think the line is inferring he's out. Like, you're going to see some pretty decisive line movement. I mean, the line's going to flip if Ty Washington's in my opinion, because he's the matchup guy in this matchup. Like, him off the bounce is the matchup problem for Tennessee here. I know you're talking mostly today, but do you like Rutgers tomorrow at home? I have no idea who Rutgers is playing tomorrow at home. Oh, fucking Illinois, dude. I don't know. Is Corbello playing? I don't know. Brother, I'm sorry, brother. I got to get to that tomorrow. I'll have a good preview for you tomorrow, but I got to just do today because I got to call that person back soon. So running through the board, gun to my head, Toledo. Taking Michigan State, taking Memphis sizably. Lean
Central Michigan just because it's a bunch of young cats, and I'll take the home team that's playing a little bit better. I don't know on Ohio, Miami of Ohio. I really don't. I could see any outcome. Like you could tell me any fucking outcome from 0 to 100. I'd be like, okay. Buffalo, Bowling Green. I don't fucking know. I don't know. Oklahoma, definitely VCU. Tulane, South Florida. If you told me South Florida, I'm looking. I'm going to watch that game to see how well Tulane plays because I really think Tulane has a really good matchup with Houston. I think they match up really well in that spot, X's and O's. And I think they can beat them next time out. So even if Tulane misses every shot in the world and South Florida wins, I just want to see how that one goes. Yeah, I think Oklahoma is beating Texas. I do. I think Texas stinks. At one point, they stink. I don't really trust the players or like them. I think toughness-wise, we can get some free buckets, maybe on the boards too. I don't like this team. I'm just not a Texas guy. I love Chris Beard, but I think he's now got some karma coming to him. I think there's a host of reasons why I don't like Texas, but I think a super fluky win against Kansas that they win a ton of the time that the market's crediting them for, making them a road favorite here when I think it should be like Oklahoma -3. I think it should be Oklahoma -3 realistically. I think Northern Illinois has a decent enough chance against Ball State. Best scores, good matchup for the center on Ball State that kind of sets the tone. So Northern Illinois definitely has a chance. Hankerson's like one of the best scorers in this conference. He's good. I don't know about South Carolina, Ole Miss. I guess I'd lean Ole Miss because I don't want anything to fucking do with South Carolina. I don't know why Jermaine Cuisinart's not better. He should be. Go figure. Florida, I'll take Florida. Inside advantage, just as Texas A&M really, really struggles there. Really, really struggles there. And Colin Castleton has enough oomph in him. I think they get that done. I had enough perimeter defense from Florida too against the Texas A&M team that's very prone to overpassing the ball, shit like that. I'm not a huge Marcus Williams guy, so I am going to end up taking Florida. They're down there somewhere. Hofstra, I'm going to look to live bet against an Elon scrappy defense. Maybe this is a good live betting opportunity, but ultimately the one-on-one play from Hofstra gets enough buckets down the stretch. Elon can't match. Iona, maybe they come out like bored or something, but I don't know. To Joyner, I'll take Joyner and Jolly over most. And there might be a live betting spot there too. Why do I like Memphis so much today, brother? Because I watched the first game and Cincinnati hit every fucking shot they could possibly imagine. Got the best looks they're ever gonna get if those two teams match up, and they hit like fucking 55% of them. Played the best game. I think I can't think of a better game that Cincinnati can play. So if they won and it was just easy offense for Memphis every time down the court when they didn't have their best player, there was no DeAndre Williams, who's the most important player specifically from the offensive end for them. So if all of that and Memphis still wins in a game where it was like it still kind of felt hopeless no matter what for Cincinnati, like just an ebbing tide that's just over and over and over going to wear them down. I don't see how they're going to win this one when they just every advantage in the world for Memphis. I also think Memphis came back. If they just cruise to a Houston win the whole time through, I could see people saying like, okay, maybe letdown spot. I'm factoring in a letdown spot. I'm factoring in way more turnovers because they're on a road. I'm factoring this shit in. Memphis went down 5 with like 3 minutes to go in that game. Most teams, after you're leading the whole second half, everybody says, oh, you're this fucking fold up shop kind of team. Most teams do fold there. Memphis came back and scored 11 points in a row. I don't think wildly highly of Houston. That win is certainly overrated, but that combined with just an unbelievable matchup advantage on the court, in my opinion, I have to take Memphis and I have to take them big. I think they win this game like 8 out of 10 times. So I got to take them big. 9 out of 10 times. It's tough for me. I mean, if they just completely lay a fucking egg, I mean, I'm basically putting that as the 2 that I think so. So yeah, I'm accounting a good amount for Memphis being a shit can when I make that bet. Just being like, Penny's just completely the worst coach that's ever walked planet Earth. I'm accounting for all of that. Gotcha. Cincy just had the game of their lives then. Yeah. Kind of similar to Arizona and UCLA this year. UCLA, though, is a bunch of like super experienced guards and shit. I actually think I don't know. I didn't think that matchup was super fluky. Since he played the game of their fucking lives in that first one, though, that I know. What did we decide to do about downgrading Nova? I think I am gonna just say fuck it. I took some, but in terms of other people, I don't think I take Nova. I just don't think the percentages are there as much, just because I have these uncertainties about the ceiling for Providence. Because I do think it could be crazy high. If you told me Providence ended up in the Final Four, I just have to say okay, because then I look at their resume regular season, I go, okay. I mean, it's not something I think is super high likely probability, but hey, shit. I mean, the signs are there, the tea leaves are there. So I just don't believe in Nova as much, although I do have Nova with the matchup advantage. I think Nova plays like similar-ish or can anyways, creating matchup problems the way Marquette did. So yeah, I think maybe not as much in the turnover category though, but just from like a personnel standpoint, I kind of have some issues. So that's why I was initially leaning Villanova. It hasn't sat right in my stomach. So yeah, that would be my ding-a-ling on that. Lead Southern Illinois. I just don't trust Bradley as far as I can throw him on the road. I think Lance Jones can D up on Roberts, and they're just going to have to Mask is going to have to do a lot at the end of the game. And if you want to take Rank Mask to do a lot at the end of the game, and that's the win condition through that big man, then I salute you. I think the line's a little short given NBC home court. Georgia Tech, NC State. I don't trust either of them at all. Just at all. Don't want anything to do with it. Minnesota, we talked about pretty extensively. I think Northern Iowa probably ends up winning, but with that coaching information, I'll probably just stay away now. I probably won't even live bet it. I don't know how they're going to react as kids. Wyoming's up to 6. Okay, I still take it. There's 5.5s available. You can get a 5.5. I think Wyoming, yeah. Just good basketball versus bad basketball. That's a pretty easy summation of that one. I think Colorado -4, 4.5 would be worrisome to me. I feel that feels wide for them to get down by that much, but do I think they probably end up winning in Oregon State? Like, do I want to catch a falling knife with Oregon State? Not really. But that does seem a little wide, does it not? I took Cincy +8.5 in a teaser. What do you think? I don't know, man. I think I can dog walk them. I think Memphis just names their score. How many do you want to win by, Memphis? You want to win by 40? Go win by 40. Wisconsin, I'm taking just out of pure value, in my opinion. I think it's a 50-50 toss-up game. I have the much better guards, and I don't think the TJD matchup is as bad as I initially thought. Because I don't think Tyler Wall – let's check. Did Tyler Wall play in the first game when Wisconsin played? Because that's the thing. Everybody's like, Indiana was up by 20. It's like, yeah, that was their fucking opportunity to win the last one. They're not going to go up by 20 in this one. So if they're not up by 20 and they were up by 20 and lost the last one, what do you think happens here? Probably going to be worse. Can Arkansas lose to Missouri? Arkansas can lose to my little brother's rec team. You can lose to anybody. Let's see. It was early in the season before Wisconsin's playing much better now, in my opinion. But let's see. Wall did play. Yeah, that TJD matchup's not bad. He went 4 for 10, only went to the line once. Yeah, that Tyler Wall in my head. I didn't think that was as good. Tyler Wall is a pretty tough kid, man. So yeah, I'm gonna go Wisco money line. I'm gonna sprinkle some of that. I just don't think the matchup is as good. And the Indiana guards fucking scare me, man. They scare me. Oregon State is so bad. Other than Lucas and Alatiche, no one else on the team should be D1. You're not wrong. I kind of like the point guard, but you're not wrong. But I'm not. Still doesn't mean I'm laying. It's really hard to cover on the road, man. It's like really hard. Caesar says Oklahoma lead at half plus the win. Do you like that? I don't know, man. It's a lot of. I don't like parlays, so that's basically what that is, a parlay. So I don't endorse parlays. I don't endorse giving away extra juice. Because like I'm sure if you just had them, you take the first half line and then the whatever line, they're just some parlay out of that and just robbing you of like 20%. That's all it is. It's like just lay them individually and yeah. I'm a Mizzou Arkansas fan, and Miz is too inconsistent for me to bet on at home. They're both so inconsistent. It's another game where anything can happen. I think TCU has enough firepower to get it done. It just feels to me like O'Bannon puts them over the edge. I've said that a few times. Hypothetical Providence Towson in a 4-13 matchup would be fucking awesome. Towson will win that game. I do think Towson will win that game. Oh, I don't know. That's a freaking good matchup, bro. That'd be so sick. Bro, Drexel was such a sweat. Did you watch it? I watched some of it. Yeah. And I think people's points they made about Drexel being tired against the waves of fucking CFC players coming was a big difference. And I think all the things we said about Cam Winter, I get he went on a little stretch there where he scored a bunch of points. Cam Winter is so fucking underwhelming to me compared to who he was freshman year. I thought Cam Winter was going to be like one of the best fucking mid-major college basketball players and me be like raving to people like this guy should go in the NBA kind of thing. No evolution. Thoughts on FSU Clemson game? I wouldn't touch either with a 40-foot. I wouldn't touch Florida State with a 40-foot stick, but I think they have the matchup advantage. If Ty Washington plays, I'll end up on Kentucky. Otherwise, I'm going to end up passing for the simple fact that he was their best matchup advantage. So maybe there's a world where Tennessee gets much better shots in this game. Yeah, don't touch Florida State. Tyler's out. Yeah, not with a 10-foot stick. Utah State, I'm taking some money line because it's off. It's wrong. I get Utah State might. I think there's like a 25% chance Utah State's just not good enough with this group of people and stuff like that, and for the competition they're playing, and they're going to continue this skid because they just really need Brock Miller and Bairstow that bad. I think there's a 45-50% that Utah State has a wild matchup advantage of this, inverts the floor with their bigs, causes all kinds of problems for Mensa, etc., gets a bunch of drives off of that, and just show that the first game wasn't a fluke at all, and this is just a matchup advantage. It's just what it is. That would be my slate. I think I'm going to try and handle what's on the phone right now. I'll pull this away for a second before I go. But I got a big fucking slate today. I had no idea. I was surprised I had this big a slate, but I think it's the attack of the road favorite today. That's what it feels like for me, the attack of the road favorite. All right. Any last minute questions from the boys? My brothers. Otherwise, I hope everybody has a fucking wonderful Tuesday. Let's see how it goes. I'm excited. Should be a good day. Providence +4. I can't get in the way of any Providence anymore. I should probably put I took Villanova, but have had regrets ever since. I took their money line and have had regrets ever since. I certainly understand Providence. I think the matchup is Villanova, but I think there's a chance Providence is just sick and it doesn't matter. So I'm not sure, Cam. Do you believe that Providence is special? That should be an underlying core point of your Providence bet today. If you believe Providence has the goods. Because I think a world exists. I said it before. I'll say it again. I think a world exists where Providence is the top 5 team in the country. I believe it exists. I'm not necessarily sure I believe it. But winning's winning. All right, my brothers. Hope everybody has most of the stuff is posted in the post from earlier today, whatever. Maybe I should snapshot it for the story on Instagram and make that post that at the end every time. That's not a bad idea. All right. Hope everybody has a wonderful Tuesday. Talk later, boys. And if there's girls in here, but talk later. Have a good one.